all Sergio Leone movies as director.
And Sergio Leone, the director of A Fistful of Dollars, hadn't particularly wanted Clint Eastwood.
Leone was an Italian filmmaker, credited as the pioneer of the spaghetti western genre, widely regarded as one of the most influential directors in the history of cinema. Leone's filmmaking style includes juxtaposing extreme close-up shots with lengthy, long shots. His films include the Dollars Trilogy of Westerns featuring Clint Eastwood, A Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, and the Once Upon a Time films, Once Upon a Time in the West, Duck You Sucker, and Once Upon a Time in America. Today we will take a look at all of Leone's movies where he is credited as the director. If you enjoy this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. If you want to check out my many other videos, head over to my channel. The link is in the description. Like, share and subscribe. You know the drill. Let's get into it.
My films are basically silent films. The dialogue just adds some wit.
Ha solamente un valore e ha un senso aforistico.
The Last Days of Pompeii, 1959, a historical disaster action film starring Steve Reeves, Christine Kaufman and Fernando Rey, and directed by Mario Bonnard and Sergio Leone. Bonnard, the original director, fell ill on the first day of shooting, so Leone and the scriptwriters finished the film. The film is characterized by its cinemascope framing and lavish look, and is one of many films produced during the 1950s and 1960s as part of the peplum sword and sandal cycle, released as Hercules in the United States.
Died by violence. What are they waiting for? Kill them! Pompeii, destroyed by fire and flame.
The Colossus of Rhodes, 1961, an Italian sword and sandal film, co-written and directed by Sergio Leone, starring Rory Calhoun, a fictional account of the island of Rhodes during its classical period in the late 3rd century BCE, before coming under Roman control, using the Colossus of Rhodes as a backdrop for the story of a war hero who becomes involved in two different plots to overthrow a tyrannical king, one by Rhodinian patriots and the other by Phoenician agents. The film was Leone's first work as a credited director, in a genre where he had already worked before, as the replacement director for The Last Days of Pompeii, and as a secondary director for both Ben-Hur and Quo Vadis. It is perhaps the least known of the 7 films he officially directed, and is the only one without an Ennio Morricone score, set during the time following Alexander the Great's death, 323 BC, but before the rise of the Roman Empire, 27 BC, known as the Hellenistic era. Most sword and sandal epics of the 1950s and 1960s were set in either classical Greece or even earlier: Hercules, Ulysses, The Giant of Marathon, or the later Roman period, Ben-Hur, The Magnificent Gladiator, Quo Vadis. The only other films made during the peplum era to use a Hellenistic setting are Hannibal, 1959, Revac, the Rebel, and Siege of Syracuse, both 1960.
The Colossus you build is now a nest for the traitors.
The slaves revolt. The people rise to join them. A mob gone mad with the realization of where their depravity has taken them, until nature itself looses its fury in awesome holocaust to destroy the evil all around.
A Fistful of Dollars, 1964, a spaghetti western directed by Leone and starring Clint Eastwood in his first leading role, alongside Gian Maria Volonté, Mariana Koch, Wolfgang Lutzke, Sighard Rupp, Jose Calvo, Antonio Prieto, and Joseph Eger. The film, an international co-production between Italy, West Germany and Spain, was filmed on a low budget, reported to be $200,000. Eastwood was paid $15,000 for his role. The film initiated the popularity of the spaghetti western genre. It was followed by For a Few Dollars More and The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, both also starring Eastwood, catapulting Eastwood into stardom.
My mistake. 4 coffins.
This man with no name is played by...
For a Few Dollars More, 1965, a spaghetti western directed by Leoni. It stars Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef as bounty hunters, and Guillermo Maria Volonté as the primary villain. German actor Klaus Kinski plays a supporting role as the secondary villain. An international co-production between Italy, West Germany and Spain. The second installment of what is commonly known as the Dollars Trilogy.
I'll be in the tavern. The air around here stinks anyway. Just like the food. But the month will go fast. I'm letting you leave, hero. That's so you can tell everybody you've seen what takes place here. What the bet was. Your life.
The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, 1966. An epic spaghetti western, directed by Leoni again, starring Clint Eastwood as the Good, Lee Van Cleef as the Bad, and Eli Wallach as the Ugly. An Italian-led production with co-producers in Spain, West Germany and the United States. Most of the filming took place in Spain, known for Leone's use of long shots and close-up cinematography, as well as his distinctive use of violence, tension, and highly stylized gunfights. The plot revolves around 3 gunslingers competing to find a fortune in a buried cache of Confederate gold amid the violent chaos of the American Civil War, specifically the Battle of Glorieta Pass of the New Mexico Campaign in 1862. While participating in many battles, confrontations, and duels along the way, the film was the 3rd collaboration between Leone and Clint Eastwood, and the 2nd with Lee Van Cleef. The film was a financial success, grossing over $38 million at the worldwide box office, and is credited with having catapulted Eastwood into stardom. Due to general disapproval of the spaghetti western genre at the time, critical reception of the film following its release was mixed, but it gained critical acclaim in later years, and is now widely regarded as one of the greatest and most influential films of all time.
The answers. The showdown. The reason. The goal.
Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, an epic spaghetti western directed by Leone, who co-wrote it with Sergio Donati, based on a story by Dario Argento, Bernardo Bertolucci, and Leoni. Stars Henry Fonda, cast against type as the villain, Charles Bronson as his nemesis, Jason Robards as a bandit, and Claudia Cardinale as a newly widowed homesteader. The widescreen cinematography was by Tonino Deli Colli, and the acclaimed film score was by Ennio Morricone. After directing The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, Leone decided to retire from westerns. However, Leone accepted an offer from Paramount Pictures, providing Henry Fonda and a budget to produce another western. He recruited Bertolucci and Argento to devise the plot of the film in 1966, researching other western films in the process. After Clint Eastwood turned down an offer to play the movie's protagonist, Bronson was offered the role. During production, Leone recruited Donati to rewrite the script due to concerns over time limitations. The film is the first installment in Leone's Once Upon a Time trilogy, followed by Duck, You Sucker and Once Upon a Time in America, though the films do not share any characters in common.
The bad and the ugly. A manhunt. A vendetta. In a new land. In a new
Duck, You Sucker, also known as A Fistful of Dynamite and Once Upon a Time, The Revolution, 1971. An epic Zapata western, directed and co-written by Leone, starring Rod Steiger, James Coburn, and Romulo Valli. Set during the Mexican Revolution of the 1910s, the film tells the story of Juan Miranda, an amoral Mexican outlaw, and John Mallory, a former member of the Irish Volunteer Army. After they accidentally meet under less than friendly circumstances, Juan and John involuntarily become heroes of the revolution, despite being forced to make heavy sacrifices. The second film of Leone's unofficial Once Upon a Time trilogy, which includes the previous Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, and the subsequent Once Upon a Time in America, 1984. The last Western film directed by Leone, considered to be one of his most underrated films.
Rub him the wrong way, and he'll go off in your face.
Duck, you sucker.
You understand now?
Anything you say, firecracker.
Together, they'll blow you apart.
We are like two brothers. I mean, you make the holes with the holy water, and I walk in and do the dirty work, eh? You come here to join the revolution.
Oh, one was enough for me.
Fuck you, suckers! I think we should get out of here.
You can't leave now. You're a great, grand, glorious hero of the revolution.
You're talking about revolution.
Trust me. No.
Ah, Putin!
Duck, you sucker.
Rod Steiger and James Coburn, together, they'll blow you apart.
Duck, you sucker.
Once Upon a Time in America, 1984. An epic crime film, co-written and directed by Leone, starring Robert De Niro and James Woods, based on Harry Gray's novel, The Hoods. It chronicles the lives of best friends David Noodles Aronson and Maximilian Max Berkovics, as they lead a group of Jewish ghetto youths who rise to prominence as Jewish gangsters in New York City's world of organized crime. The film explores themes of childhood friendships, love, lust, greed, betrayal, loss, and broken relationships, together with the rise of mobsters in American society. The final film directed by Leone before his death 5 years later, and the first feature film he had directed in 13 years. Also the third installment of Leone's Once Upon a Time trilogy, which includes Once Upon a Time in the West and Duck You Sucker. The US edit was a critical and commercial flop in the United States, and critics who had seen both versions harshly condemned the changes made. The original European cut has remained a critical favourite and frequently appears in lists of the greatest films of all time, especially in the gangster genre. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Hit the notification button to get my new videos. Take a look at my channel and check my Facebook page. The links are in the description. I am Wrangler. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.